It's gonna be a very good show indeed. The fridge is filled with very cold beer, we'll keep you up to speed. Everybody's feeling good, we have so much to say. The microphones are all set up, it's time to roll the tape. Our producer Brian's got the goods, sound and film alike. Our sidekick Dave is looking sharp, what's there not to like? Here comes Johnny, it's Tiki time, so crack yourself a beer. He's got some stories up his sleeve you all might want to hear. Recorded live on Saturdays, it's time for Tiki Talk. So ring that bell and pour the shots out. Let's go range, it's time to rock out. Let's discuss your weekend blackout. Special guest is a high school dropout. Wanna host, but John won't let me. We roll until the fridge is empty. From Rockaway Beach in New York City, it's time for Tiki Talk.
Down by where I live.
Hey Brian, wrong font.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't even know fucking jump.
Like ripping up a Band-Aid.
Oh, I did it. Hey, welcome to Tiki Talk.
Wait, aren't you supposed to be hiding or something?
No, we ain't
we're
doing
not
that.
going to do that?
This is
opening season.
Yeah, it's a new season,
Aren't you
and
doing
we're
intro
working
song?
out the kinks.
Yeah, first time we've ever gone live.
Oh, we're working out the kinks. They're gonna be our house band.
This is going to be a very good show indeed. The fridge is filled with very cold beer, we'll keep you up to speed. Everybody's feeling good, got so much to say. The microphones are all set up, it's time to roll the tape. Actually, we're live.
And we're rolling tape, because we got something added on.
Our producer Brian's got the goods, sound and film alike. Our sidekick Dave, he isn't here, he ain't feeling right. Here comes Johnny, it's Tiki time, so grab yourself a beer. He's got some stories up his sleeve y'all might want to hear. Recorded live on Mondays, it's time for Tiki Talk. So ring that bell and pour the shots out. Let's go range, it's time to rock out. Let's discuss your weekend blackout. Our special guest is a doctor.
A high school dropout.
Wanna host, but John won't let me roll until the fridge is empty. From Rockaway Beach in New York City, it's time for Tiki Talk.
All right.
Very good, buddy. Oh, yes. Wow.
Hey, it's been a long time. We haven't had a show in a long time, a couple of years, since Jerry Ray,
Last guess?
crashed our ratings.
You kill the heat?
I did. It's gonna take a
Oh,
while.
it's gonna
for
take
us
a
to
minute.
know.
Sorry.
So we're coming from the beach. Me and Brian here, Gillen, my guest tonight, who usually comes up from the floor, but it's a new year.
I can make that happen. All right.
All right. From Studio 2B down below. Welcome, Brian.
Hello,
Good to
thanks
see
for
you.
having me.
Oh, we're shaking hands.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
Elbows. Oh, pre-roll.
Oh, wait, we have a new sponsor this year. I forgot that there's on the camera.
Yeah. We're also filming. We're not
camera
just
out.
live. We're also filming.
Yes. Anyway, Brian is our guest today, and we're going to learn a lot about him. He's the kind of guest that I really like, because I like a guest who I don't know much about. I know Brian, but I don't know much about him. And it makes for a better show because, I got to ask him what the fuck he does. And you will all learn. So anyway, Brian is doing this Lenten thing. His brother is a priest, and he jumps in the ocean every day during Lent. We'll talk about that with him. But today, I was honored to be his guest and jump in the ocean with him. Thank you for that. water.
Warming up.
Sat down with him, but today I was honored to be his guest and jump in the ocean with him. Thank you for that.
Yes, but I actually did it earlier with Brian Keller. No, Sean Keller.
So you
mean
jumped in twice today?
you jumped in twice?
Twice, yes.
I wasn't part of this Lenten thing?
Double dipping. Well, you are part of it.
No, I'm not, because you already did it. And the last thing I want to do is jump into the ocean at 39 degrees. You could have told me that earlier. We're not off to a good start.
How about that?
But
Let's talk about that, Brian. So your brother is a priest, and how did you come up with this idea to?
my brother's a Dominican friar, and we were talking about Lent before Ash Wednesday, and I guess we were making fun of some people who give up chocolate for 40 days, and we're like, nah, you gotta do something extreme. Like we did that when we were kids. Let's do something like, because it's mediocrity that kills me. But the extremes, I can kind of thrive on the extremes, and it was, why don't you jump in the water for 40 days?
Oh, it's his idea?
Oh,
It was totally his idea. And
Baptism.
and
Oh, by the way, we got a mic here, so
I got you. Sorry.
That's true.
No, so yeah, he kind of gave me the challenge. I was like, yeah, and he's like, but you got to post it every day on Facebook and Instagram, so to
Yes.
prove.
So God will see it.
Yeah, so so that's what I'm doing. And
Otherwise, it doesn't
like,
count.
Otherwise,
it's been very tough at first, but I got a week to go. Although I've heard the church doesn't count Sundays for Lent, so I actually have 6 extra days to go.
it's 46 days. How many days is Lent? Really, it's not 40 days.
I mean, it's supposed to be 40. I mean,
Right, because it's 40 days and 40
like
nights.
spiritually it's 40 days,
Right.
but without counting Sundays, from Ash Wednesday to Easter is about 46 days, 46.
I know. I've done the math when I wanted to give up drinking.
So if I give up drinking Sundays, I could get
it's
smashed.
no, it's 46 days.
Yeah, you don't fast on Sundays.
What if you
Oh, I
drink
didn't
so
know about
much?
that.
What if you drink so much Sunday that Monday is still above it, the level?
I don't think God has a
I
breathalyzer.
don't think he uses a breathalyzer. I think it's just the act of
11:59.
doing it.
11:59, just throwing it down. This could last me 2 days.
Yeah, get your last couple shots in 11:59.
All right, so I want to find out about Brian, and I know you from when you first started coming around here. That I met you. My son was helping Mike O'Leary design a book cover,
Yes.
and I go, what is this book? Who do you know that's writing a book? Except for like freaking a comic book or something.
Dr. Gillen.
And that's when the first time I met Dr. Brian Gillen.
Yeah, so actually that book was the thesis to my doctorate. Kind of just kind of hammered into and it was a miracle. A company in London picked it up, and it was like winning the lottery. That a company in London
Yeah.
but it was about an Englishman. So I kind of it was total luck. I lucked out with time and everything, and there's been a resurgence of interest in G.K. Chesterton, and so
G.K. Chesterton.
Chesterton.
Was a famous British person that you wrote this book about.
Yeah, he was famous.
Is he a philosopher?
He was a philosopher, a theologian, a historian, a poet, a playwright.
A pauper, a sinner.
No, he was.
That's love.
No, he was like one of the last of the great Renaissance men of writing. He wrote for 2 different newspapers. For like 20 years.
Wait a second. Are you from Rockaway?
I'm from Rockaway.
You're too smart. You grew up in Rockaway, went to St. Francis, I guess?
Yeah, I went to Beach Channel High School.
Beach Channel High School, okay, that explains it. Your brilliance.
Your
Did
wife
you
went
ever-
to Beach Channel High School.
Did you sit next to Kenny Curran?
I didn't graduate from Beach Channel.
You graduated.
You didn't graduate, okay.
Hold on
We
a
don't
second.
look at you.
Who's getting garden work done at a time like this?
Listen, we're doing Tiki Talk, and there's some kind of like gardener here during the coronavirus, and it's freaking like
What do
winter.
they got going on out there?
It's probably Kenny
4 of them.
Curran's.
Can we call 311? Are they allowed to garden right now?
I think so.
Listen to this shit.
No, I think it's
like
tough. He wanted to be the guest tonight.
It sounds like a lot of hot air blowing out.
And Tony G.
All right.
All right, so Brian, getting back to your illustrious career in Beach Hill High School.
Yeah.
So, like, you're from Rockaway, and you have like such high ideals. You became a doctor. You freaking a professor. Where did this come from? Inner, at home.
I think, well, you know, my father was a teacher. He taught at 180. That's what it's called. You know, so like
His father was a teacher too.
we were always kind of, you know, we grew up like books were a big thing. And my father belonged to Book of the Month Club. And we'd fight over, like, she has a book, she's had, you know, Moby Dick for 3, you know, months, and, you know, whatever the book of the month was. And anyway, it was great. But then I think my 2 weeks into my senior year of high school, my father sent me away to a boarding school.
Oh.
And he didn't tell me. He packed up the trunk and his suitcase and everything. He drove me. He goes, hey, how about we go check out my alma mater? Because he had graduated from there. And I'm like, yeah, day off. I go out there and we sit down with the headmaster. I got a tour of the campus, and the headmaster says, so what did you think? I'm like, oh, Father, thank you, but I think it's just not for me. I'm 2 weeks into my senior year. And he was trying to sugarcoat it. He's like, well, your father, my father's sitting right there. And he's like, you know, kind of biting his lip. And finally he's like, enough. He's like, Father, enough. You're going here, we already talked about it, it's been settled, and you have nothing to say about it. Wow. It's either this or military school. And I was like, and then I looked at the headmaster who was kind of
From Beach Channel High School?
Yeah, from Beach Channel High School. And the headmaster...
But you were doing good in school, no?
No, I
you had bad influences?
I did. Or, I mean, I didn't. You know, I had great grades like freshman, sophomore year, then my junior year, I hated that school.
Was that a good move that your father did that?
Absolutely.
Did you ever thank him for it?
Probably not.
Maybe during your next cleanse you can reflect.
But I remember liking it at the time. I wasn't like disgruntled, like, oh, I got slipped away. I was like, this is like a cool adventure. And it was from there that I got, it was a very international school.
Was it co-ed?
No, it was all boys.
Sorry, Mike.
You told him about that.
I know, I told him not to make. So, how did you get into philosophy? Because, is that what your area of study is?
I studied philosophy. Yeah, I had to study.
In Beach Channel High School?
No. I studied, I had to study philosophy for 2 years to get into the Aldu program. So years later, you know, I had a sister who passed away.
Hold on a second. Okay, go ahead. I just want to make sure you didn't back off too far. Go ahead.
No, I had a sister who had passed away. And I think I was kind of looking for answers. And
how old?
She was 25.
And how old were you?
I guess I was 17, 18 at the time. Or maybe older. I'm so bad with that stuff like that. I just started college. Anyway.
Kevin's calling you. Oh shit! I gotta get that poker game started. Hold on a second. I'm sorry about this. I have a
pressing issue.
So what happened? I'll take over.
Really starting a poker game.
I'm sorry. I have a poker game that I'm running, and I'm not really in it.
I'm doing a lot of things right now.
Oh shit!
We finally got an interesting guest, and you're talking over him. You're playing poker.
Are you playing in this game, or are you just?
He's talking about like real things too. And he's getting like deep.
I'm not getting deep.
I know. I'm so sorry.
You're talking about death and pivotal moments in your life.
I'm sorry about this, but I set up this poker game. I'm not even in it, and it looks like I might have to be in it. Nope. I might have to. Oh, register. Shuffle and deal. Okay.
Hold, please. You say no off 3 cameras.
Oh man, this is why we don't go live, I guess.
You haven't. Do you want to start the game directly? Confirm. All right, the game has begun.
Oh, there we go.
We're getting a lot of likes. A lot of smiley faces popping up there. All right.
I think I got it.
So pivotal moment.
There's a poker game here, so. Can I get a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a beer too while you're up.
We're gonna get 2 beers.
Thanks.
Bobby's drinking Guinness, and I'm drinking. Oh, this is making noises. I'll lower it down. The poker game.
My students are texting me. I've been up all day answering questions. Some of these kids are just waking up.
This says dismiss and restart. Hold on. This is very distracting.
Unbelievable.
Dismiss.
It was John's idea to do it at this time too. It's not like
Yeah, you picked the time.
yeah, it's not like he said, "Oh, let's do it at 5." And I was like, "No, 3 is better."
The time's changed.
All right, so you get to boarding school.
Thank you, Bobby.
which kind of is a very international school. There were kids from all over the world, and that's where I was like, wow, like languages.
Oh, yeah.
Culture.
Yeah.
And you were just Adobe Beach Channel High kid at the time, like all of us.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. But as far as the philosophy was, so after my sister passed away, I was kind of looking for answers, and I realized
I can relate.
you don't have 1,000 years. What are you doing here? What are you gonna do with the rest of your time here? For me, at an early age, I feel like the clock is ticking. I probably had a midlife crisis in my 20s.
Yeah, but this was you were only 17. You had 2 midlife crises.
Early
life
I did the math. I was a freshman, so I was 19 or 20 at the time. Anyway, my brother suggested, this is before he was a priest, he said, why don't you check out this 1-year spirituality program they have over in Rome? You just go, get a little diploma.
Wow, awesome.
So I went, and I was so...
Now wait a second,
Oh,
this
sorry.
is after... Well, somebody's had a good
Can we stop the post?
Somebody had a good
Like one of
hand.
the best guests we've ever had. He's in Rome.
It's all
Most of
emotional
my guys haven't gone over the Ring Park Bridge.
It's emotional moments. They're emotional
Somebody just want a
moments.
big hand.
There's a big hand. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Mark. It's usually not like this, but I have to spoke.
I have no reference point, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, I just shut off the sound. Let me turn it upside down. I'm not in the game. I just set it up.
All right.
So
You're in Rome.
after did you graduate from college and go to Rome?
I did, yeah. I got
Yeah,
a...
what college was this? You just fast forwarded too far.
I did, sorry. SUNY New Paltz.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Well, it took me 5 years.
See New Paltz. Yeah, that's like the biggest
I
hippie
was on the
fest.
swim team, so I was in the athletic
Swimming.
arena.
I know.
So
about New
what
Paltz.
was it like when you got to Rome?
These guys were like old world, old school scholars. They would argue with each other in Latin, and they weren't banging you over the head with religion. I was so impressed by them. Like guys like Paul Murray. You met Paul Murray.
Yeah, I met Paul.
Just like these phenomenal minds, and I loved it, and that just stayed with me. And
I can't believe this. It's ridiculous.
It's somebody from the poker game, but I hung up on him.
Turn your ringer off. We're in the middle of...
We're doing a thing. Look, we're down to
Look.
28 people. We had like 58, 80 in the beginning.
If this was church, I would have freaking shut it off. All right, I shut that off too.
This is the Tiki bar. This should be church.
I don't know. So I did that for 1 year, but then I went back, years later and finished a degree over there. But it always kind of haunted me that 1 year.
But you were saying these were Italians?
They were from.
I mean, they were debating.
Yeah, well, they're from all over the world. They're from England, Ireland, Italians, Philippines.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
And what kind of philosophy are you into now?
Well, so that was Thomistic philosophy.
What does that mean?
It's very based on reason and kind of rationing things out. And it doesn't.
Well, that sounds like everybody's into reason and rationing out, but everybody's reason is different.
Yes.
you think?
Yes, but then can you say the same with mathematics? Philosophy is the same way. It might be different. It's not scientific, or it's quantitatively different questions, but you're going after truth. You can still know truth, not just by science. I think today in modernity we've kind of done away with reasonable discussions. It's all passion and emotion.
Everybody has their own truth.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, but they're not true.
But emotion
No, I
is
know
involved
that.
more.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's more emotional than.
Well, you have your own truth.
They're fact-based.
Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion, but not your own facts. And anyway,
Not today, though.
but there's
It wasn't always that way, was it?
okay, but if the whole world thinks that 2 + 2 = 5, the whole world is wrong.
Yeah, but they don't think so.
Okay, but they're still
And then
wrong.
are they wrong?
Well, it doesn't matter what they think. It's like gravity doesn't
Like science.
Gravity doesn't care if you believe in it or not. If you think
Right.
it doesn't need you to be true.
Right.
Not getting.
Math doesn't
Yay,
need you
this
either. Or certain truths about reality also don't need you to agree with it
Let's start over.
to be true.
Right. Right.
So and that's
if
very
it's not true to Brian Sicca,
yeah.
it doesn't matter because it's not the fact, the
Yeah.
truth. the world.
If Brian Sickett thinks 2 + 2 is 5,
Who cares?
he's wrong.
Yeah,
He's wrong.
Just wrong.
And if the whole world agreed with him, the whole world would be wrong. You know,
Right.
it wouldn't make it true. It wouldn't make it 5.
Right.
And that's very like kind of Thomistic.
So is it like you're searching for truth? We should all be searching for truth.
Yes, and then see, and this is where the more personal thing would come in. Where yes, you do have to find your own truth or your own meaning to life, or like what can you contribute the best to this world? You know, what are you good at? Well, go do that and go share that. So in that sense, it's finding your own way, your own path.
I'm sorry that you brought that up. No, because lately I've been feeling guilty. I mean, I am, I don't know if people notice, but I'm a good writer. I went to school for journalism, and I'm always, as most writers, they have like a writer's block. And it's fucking true because,
What do you want to write about?
well, I've been writing stories of my life, and I also write scripts, and I procrastinate most of the time, and I figured if I can't fucking write, excuse me for my language, but if I can't write when there's a coronavirus and I'm stuck in the house all day,
When are you gonna write?
when am I freaking gonna write?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you brought up something about, doing what you think you were put on this earth for.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
how you can contribute.
Yes.
But Tiki Talk is the second best alternative.
Well, also, you have to enjoy your life, and that's one thing that I loved about Chesterton. He was very, very much about.
The British man that you wrote a book about.
Yes.
Which I.
He's all about celebrating life and the passion for life and the goodness of life, the beauty of life, and returning to your childhood imagination.
Nice.
One great point I always liked was he talked about, like, if there was only one blade of grass left on the planet, we'd line up around the corner for miles, to go see it.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because it's a miracle. He's like, you're surrounded by miracles. You find yourself within a creation, and so everything.
Yes, like a child.
This is a miracle. That's a miracle. You're a miracle.
Like a child
yeah.
looking at life.
It's a child walking through fairyland.
Yeah.
So that's how he kind of perceived reality, and I think it's such a great approach to
Wow.
reality.
And that's why you latched onto him and made him your doctorate and.
Well, because I was into always into literature, and he bridged the gap between literature and
Philosophy?
and theology, actually.
Theology, okay.
Yeah. So.
Why, is he theology?
Yes.
Because you didn't bring God into any of this.
John, you're supposed to read the book
No.
free show.
I got, I looked at the cover, they
Yeah.
worked on it, and
It was a good.
I'm waiting for the audiobook.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe we'll make that this week.
Alright.
I tell people don't buy it. I'll give you the 5-minute rundown. So I give you the 5-minute rundown. It's called A Theology of Wonder.
A theology of wonder.
But there's a subtitle. A Theology of Wonder. G.K. Chesterton's Response to Nihilism.
A theology of wonder.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, where's the freaking cover? We don't have a copy of
I
it
am
here?
upstairs.
Bri is going to go up and get it, because we got to show it to the audience.
I'm sorry. What happened?
And
I'm sorry that, go ahead.
no, but so nihilism, nihil means nothing.
I know.
So it's a philosophy of nothing. It's what the Nazis were using when they're exterminating, the Jews. Might makes right. You make up your own reality. So it's a dangerous thing, actually, when you make up, your own truth. And it was getting off the ground in Chesterton's time, and it's very prevalent today. And so he was just opposing it. I think everything he did opposed it. Where he was like, no, life does have meaning, does have purpose, does have value. And
It is in Britain?
yes.
They were actually going the other way.
Yeah, well, it was, what did he say?
Hold on a second, guys. The whole thing cut off. I'm getting a bunch of text messages.
Alright.
We're back on. We're having a lot of problems there. Guys, if the audio cuts out or something, put a comment up so we can see it. We've been
fucking drinking.
Well, no, it's not us. It's the
No, I know. Oh, look.
people are joining in.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're back. Why don't we ring the bell?
We don't have it.
There's
a bell right there.
There's a bell right there. Ring
Oh,
the
because
bell.
I have the old bell in the house. Uh-oh.
There we go.
That's the Rangers gold bell. But it doubles.
No, it's
it doubles
also
for
a shots. Whispers. Well, you're not gonna have one?
I'm gonna have you a little bit.
You already did.
whisper.
You took care of yourself.
It is.
All
I
right.
have a tiny bit of this thing.
All right, now we're back. People can hear us now. I can
Dad,
see
give
this
me
little
another- give me
thing
a shot
floating up.
glass.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, I got
Give
good
me a
news.
shot glass.
DJ Teddy's coming on at 4:30.
Yeah.
I want to thank the guys running the virtual bar.
What are you drinking? Vodka?
Yeah.
I don't know how much
Shots
easier it
of
is than running a real bar.
We're gonna do a shot here.
We're gonna do a quick shot.
We have a new sponsor, by the way.
Purell.
Purell. We've been washing our hands in
Yeah,
between
let's not
shots.
even. Let's. Is this too much?
We didn't touch
It is a little bigger.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, while I remember, I got something here for Bobby's wife, Casey. We really appreciate her sharing him with her. And the other day I was on the beach with Casey, and she had these really great glasses on, and she was worried if she lost them. They don't know what glasses she has. So
She
I
lost
got
them?
I got these glasses in Puerto Rico for $10,
Wow. I looked at.
and I think she would like these. So I'm gonna give those to her.
That's great. Casey's awesome.
So where we last
Here you go.
left off,
All right, back to
Ryan was hanging out with real philosophers, and we
Yep.
found the book.
first of all.
Covered by Mike O'Leary.
Michael Leary with assistance from Bry with the.
Oh yeah, technical support.
Technical support.
Brian Sicca.
Photoshopping and typefacing.
Great reading.
Trilogy of Wonder. G.W. Chesterton's.
Theology.
Theology. There's not three of them.
I can't read it.
I'm working on it.
It's
working on
part one
it.
of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Brian P. Gillen, our guest. And let's look at the picture, which is Michael Leary, who has appeared on Tiki Talk.
Yeah, he's popped in.
Not
Yes.
really as a guest, but as an invader. And you can see
Seen it.
Brian and Brian Sicker.
All right, that's
All right. All right, so back to drink.
Did I ever sign it for you?
I didn't sign mine either. I know you did sign
Here's a
mine.
pen. Yeah, you want to see?
Oh, yeah,
it?
he
I'll
did.
do
No,
it
he
after
did,
this.
He did
I did.
sign it. I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. He crossed out his name and then signed it below it.
That's what writers do.
That's good.
Is it?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I got a book from a writer.
You didn't do that?
I don't think so.
Oh, I said something nice. Oh, good.
Yeah, he said
Oh
something
wow,
very
a lot of
nice.
nice things.
Oh, what do you say, Brian?
I'm not reading the whole thing.
That looks like from
long.
Paul Murray. Like,
All right, well, let me look at my sheet
is
here.
that from Paul Murray?
Yeah, I think there's one
There
for
was
both.
two. There was two.
This one.
So, listen, we'll stop with the bullshit.
I'll show you later.
I'm sorry. What did he write, Brian? I see he wrote something.
He wrote, I don't know which one. There's two instructions.
Oh, okay.
Zero. Last night was
This
magical.
one might
Don't
have
let
been- this
people
one might
know
have
about
Oh my
it.
This
God!
one was O'Leary, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then this was it.
because you really assisted O'Leary. Brian had no idea.
The three of us read sexual peaks and never
They
imagined.
paid for me in whiskey, so thank you.
Oh, sir. That account to be settled.
Michael Leary is playing in. He always
I was
pays.
just talking about.
O'Leary
Anyway.
always pays in whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about. He never gonna happen. What is that? Never. He's never gonna. He's never,
That's a band
Oh,
that
his
Bob,
band.
Bob and I
oh, I thought it was the name of a freaking song or something.
No, we didn't get that far.
Or this Tiki Talk. He never's gonna happen.
It's
Never gonna happen. No, we're back. We're on now.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
We got
No,
80
no,
viewers
no.
or 60, whatever.
That's all right. We always get those
58,
cameras.
90. We got-
Hey, listen, whatever you missed on Facebook, it's going to be on the DVD version that comes out. With the jump in the ocean that I wasn't supposed to do, this freaking guy didn't tell me. Alright, so what's this band? I didn't even know you played an instrument.
No, so it's a quick story.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
we only got fucking...
Being a lifeguard partners with Bob and Butler for what?
didn't know that.
10 years?
We worked 10
So
years on the same
Get out of
chair.
here. That's like unknown.
And I haven't heard half of these stories.
We were chair partners, and he'd always start his band, and I'd always say, "Can I be in the band too? I play old piano." He goes, "No." For like 10 years, no. He's like, "Gillen, you will never be in the band. It's never gonna happen."
But did you play an instrument?
No. Well, what happened was
Well, that explains it.
Bobby was playing up at
Wait a second, how much older are you than him?
a year or two.
Yeah.
Time is relative.
He's July, I'm June.
Yeah.
I'm playing at Bungalow Bar, and it's right when I'm starting to date Casey, and I'm trying to really, impress. I'm learning Lady Gaga songs. She's there with her friends. I'm doing a little set at Bungalow Bar.
Lady Gaga wasn't around when you freaking first started courting her.
Yes,
Lady
she
Gaga's
was.
been around for a
Lady
long
Gaga's been
time.
around for a while.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm playing, all of a sudden I look, because I was playing up against the bar, and you can look at the bartender inside. I was on the back deck, and I see him coming in. And he's got a wig on, and he's carrying a giant wash tub bass, which is just, it's
Like a broomstick and a wash tub thing.
And you told him he wasn't in.
well, I didn't think he was gonna just show up in the middle of this gig.
I wasn't invited.
So he walks up and he slams it down the stage, he rustles on the mic and he goes, "Sorry, I'm late."
Oh, you kidding? That's awesome.
So we played a nice Irish song, I thought. And so
Yeah.
The Never Gonna Happen's happened.
Oh,
So
he went to New Paltz?
Yeah.
I'm catching up.
He was the class of 06, I was the class of 07.
You were in New Paltz, right? I just got the connection.
I didn't go to, I went to Fordham.
he's a Jesuit.
Give me
Wow.
So yeah, that's the Never Gonna Happen.
Oh, Fordham. Didn't he say something about New Paltz?
He went to New Paltz, but he didn't.
Oh, okay.
Bobby didn't go to
No, but Bobby was there with
I was there a lot.
Phil. Brian, can you give me a beer?
Aren't they in here?
No, they're in that cooler right
Oh.
there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody told.
So yeah, that's the Never Gonna.
So,
So that's the never gonna happen.
So the Never Gonna Happen's happen. I'm like, that's what's the name of our band. So it's the Never Gonna Happen.
They're never gonna happen.
did he do the washboard to your band?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
And it was once?
It was very. What was that
Yeah.
one song?
One song.
And that was it?
The place went. Everybody clapped and then he walked off.
Was he good?
He was there.
I had a red wig on. I was trying to pretend I was Melvin.
Oh my god. So, that was it. That was your musical career.
That was
You
the
were
one
on stage. How many people were there? Thousands? I mean,
I mean,
it was Bungalow?
Bungalow Bar.
Oh, man.
In the crowd, there was
What year was this?
at least 10 tables.
What year was this?
You know, it was a lot of older ladies. They loved it. They thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Probably
They,
like
they knew some kind of shtick was.
2010,
They knew some kind of shtick was going on.
2008,
Wow.
2007 maybe.
Yeah.
Bungalow Bar.
Bungalow Bar.
What was it called? That? Was it?
It was still that.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, you've been around a long time.
He has lost concept of time.
I remember the bridge, which was next to it. It was just Thai Rock,
Remember it was the Lobster
There's the
though?
Lobster House.
the Lobster House.
The checkered
The
floor.
bridge was great though. Anyway, getting back to my poker game.
Oh, God.
Oh shit. BJ's up.
DJ's up? Alright.
Alright. At some point in your life, did you ever go to the Orient?
Yes. I lived in Japan for 2 years. And Korea for 1 year. And then I did a whirlwind tour of Southeast Asia after all that.
I'm trying to piece this together like in a timeline. You went to Beach Shanghai,
Then boarding school.
Then Newport. Then
boarding school,
And then New Paltz.
New Falls,
And then Japan.
Right
and then
away.
Japan. No
Yeah, yeah.
Fordham.
No.
I went-
You know,
What the
actually, I worked in the city. I worked a little bit. You know, my brother before he was a priest was a stockbroker, and I worked in his office. He gave me a job in his office.
He prayed to a different God.
I saved. He did. I saved like $5,000, and then I got on a plane. I went to.
Oh, you made some money.
Japan.
The Orient.
I went to the Orient.
Did you take the Orient Express?
To the Orient Express. To the Orient.
What were you doing in Japan? I mean,
Well, then I got to back up. So I remember at the boarding school, you'd have on Sundays
Wait a second.
you're allowed to call home.
what did you take in New Paltz?
Psychology
Okay, go ahead.
and a minor in Japanese.
Oh, there you go. That
They
makes
just
sense.
speak Japanese.
It was a relevant question. Who knew?
Yeah.
Well, because then you had to do 2 years of a foreign language, and everyone did Spanish. I was like, I want to do something different. I chose Japanese.
What can you say in Japanese right now? Tell Butler to get the fuck out of here.
Bana-san, irashaimmasen. You are not welcome here.
Vamos.
That's not the first time I heard that.
Alright. We had the Japanese lesson. So what did you do? How did what did you go there for again?
For an adventure. Like, and I remember at this boarding school, like waiting in line to make a phone call home. This is before cell phones and everything. And you'd wait, and I'd hear the Spanish guys and the Chinese guys and the Japanese guys, and I'm like, just listening to other languages. And I kind of got more interested in the Japanese language. And I was like, God, what the hell are they saying? Like, you know,
How good
with
can
the
you,
Spanish, I was like, I can kind of figure it out.
can you really, if you were in Japan today, you would understand people?
I'm conversational.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm
Wow.
illiterate. I'm probably like first grade level writing, but.
And how was it living there? Did you see Lost in Translation with Bill Murray?
I did. Great movie.
Was it like
Was it? Was it pretty good?
A lot of aspects of that are absolutely true.
Yeah,
There is this mega disconnect between, you know, like, and so I lived down. I actually lived in Hiroshima, and they didn't speak English. A lot of in Tokyo, everybody can kind of speak English, but down there,
Rincon.
they just didn't.
Rincon.
They just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I would leave like a waking or like a gape of. I'm sorry. A wake of gaping faces behind when I walked by. It was like, oh,
Huge white man.
And you were big.
I'd be on the bus. I always bumping my head. You know, I'm 6'3", and then like an old lady would like tell her grandson, "Oh, gaijin da, gaijin, a foreigner." And they come up to me like, oh, they like poke you and like, you know.
The Japanese are into Foreigner? Like, what do they have good songs, Foreigner?
What does Foreigner have? Maybe I can't see Phil Collins in that.
No. Foreign-
Nobody knows.
Like,
So how big can they be? We should go to Japan to find out. I'm sorry.
Jukebox
you weren't
Hero.
there with the-
Jukebox Hero.
was a jukebox.
I think that was
one?
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're living there?
No, and I loved
Sorry.
it. It was great. I actually got
Sorry.
engaged to a Japanese girl over there, but that never happened.
She called me actually and asked if you were going to be on Tiki Talk. She saw it on Facebook, and she will be here.
And
Come
yes,
on in, Sun Ying.
Katsumi Hirata.
Sayata Tarata. Whatever. She could be watching this.
She could be.
It's a small world.
And then I don't know. Should I just keep flapping here?
Yeah,
That's the
what
whole
I'm
idea.
doing.
And then after Japan, I'll stop banging the table. A buddy of mine called me and he's like, "Hey, would you want to come to Korea and work at the American Pavilion at the Daejeon Expo?" And I was like, "Yes." And so I moved to Korea for a year and I did that.
Which Korea?
South Korea. Although I do have a story, I have technically been in North Korea.
Really?
My friends.
The DMZ?
Well, I got a tour of the DMZ and. The guy shows up
Demilitarized zone.
and there's like the table and a line going across the floor and over the table and, he goes, and the tour guide says, and if you step over there and this was like not everybody gets to do this. This was from the State Department gave us a special thing, special tour. And today there's no guard up, but if you stepped over there, you technically could be in North Korea. And I'm like, oh wow. And then the tour guide turns his back, and they're walking out. I'm like, I jumped into North Korea for 1 second, just to say I did it. And
Wait a second. We never established why you went to Japan and Korea. Like, what were you doing? Were you working? Were
I
you
was young.
philosophizing?
yeah,
Travel.
I was young. I was
Who paid the bill?
well, lifeguarding.
And unemployment.
No, I didn't know about unemployment back then. No, and I was working in Japan. I was an English teacher, and
Okay.
and I was an editor for Mazda Motor Corporation. They would translate from English into from Japanese into English, and I would correct their English. But it was a false job. It was a figurehead position because I would correct too much. I was so into it. I was really trying to do a good job. And then this lady comes up to me. She's like, "Don't correct too much." He's like, Tanaka-san, he studied English in London, so don't make too many corrections. It's not good for
You don't want to hurt his self.
So I don't know. Okay. Oh, this job is total nonsense. Okay.
Well,
Yeah. So I just a little comma, and then he go, oh, he understood the subtlety of a comma. And she was like, gonna be like, oh, like that. Thank you. So that's why I pretended to edit letters and stuff.
oh my God.
And I did that for 2 years in Japan.
It's kind
It was
of
great.
like civil service in New York.
Just dead. You
Oh,
know you're
imagine
dead.
that. Imagine that.
I'm sorry, I'm
Ah.
fantasizing.
Reminiscing
Oh, yeah,
about your old
man,
days.
Yeah.
Merry Summer Hobbit. Tell me about that.
Merry Summer Hobbit. So, as lifeguards, I always felt like we were merry summer hobbits who danced and played and sung. Like,
Oh,
anyway,
speaking about white welfare, civil service.
and that's why I loved I love Tristan, because he's all about joy of life and the goodness of life and the the celebration of life at all times. Not overboard, being an overboard drunk, but just being merry and being jolly and being good. So I started a puppet show
I wasn't paying attention. Start over.
called Summer Merry Hobbits.
Yes. A puppet show. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll fast forward to that.
Well, I used to babysit for my sister and her next door neighbor, she's a German couple. And
Oh, the German couple who also told you what the fuck is going on 116th Street?
no, that was a different guy.
You got a lot of German friends.
Yeah.
I didn't even go there. You were in Japan.
Yeah.
They were on the same side in World War II, I think.
Anyway, so I babysit all their houses, or I'm sorry, I babysit all the kids. They'd go to dinner, but there's like 10 of them. And just make sure the youngers have food or whatnot. Anyway, the little girl was giving me like a tour of the house, and I saw this puppet theater. These really nice, like handmade, puppet,
Like
hand puppets.
Sound of Music?
No, well, those are marionettes. These were hand puppets.
Okay.
Just
And so-
Yes, I understand. But the same, like,
Yeah.
kind of like background and shit.
So I just started just doing a puppet show, like off the cuff, and
You had the puppets.
the kids. Well, they were right there, and anyway, long story short, years later, she gave me the whole puppet theater because they're going to throw them out or whatever. So you're the only one who ever had fun with this.
What? They give you a puppet theater?
Yeah.
You
so
still got it?
I got it. Well, that's what I'm.
Where is it? Because I want to do Tiki Talk
Those are
different
the-
puppets.
Those are the
So
Merry
not the
Summer
fucking come
Hobbits.
Yeah, those are the Merry Summer Hobbits.
Oh,
It's called Merry Summer Hobbit Theater. So
wow. You still got it?
yeah, well, I put it on Instagram.
Oh.
Well, that's the after the puppets, but I should change it.
I need an artist like Casey to make puppets of me, Bri, Bobby, Dave, and our next guest, and we could just do it with puppets. And we don't have to freaking get dressed up.
So
Yeah.
he
Right,
comes
you
up
just
with the
do audio.
idea and he doesn't even get his own puppet. There, fuck
And
you,
he's
Gillen.
Yeah, we'll use his puppets, but for the next guy.
It's a great idea. We're gonna use that after you get the fuck out of here. He's got a booch out,
I don't know.
Casey, we discussed the big drum. It was a bass. We discussed it.
Listen, I gotta take a piss. Get out
Wow,
of
he's gonna take a piss already.
Okay.
here. Yeah. What do you think?
I gotta pee. So how many years did you work on 117?
Probably like 20 years, 20 something years.
That's like 116 legit.
No, but also I worked 17 for like 7 years or 6 years before that. Before I even started on 17.
Most of the late 90s. By the way, I think John thinks you're much younger than you are.
Oh, that's great.
Which is great, right?
Oh, can I tell you a funny story about
Yeah.
that? So all the guys at the beach are always trying to figure out how old I am. I always lie, I never tell them. Well, when did you graduate high school? I'm not falling for that. and then so the Shami goes, he looks me up on Facebook. I've never told the truth online.
Yeah.
And he goes, I find out how old Gillen is. He's 34. And I'm like, oh,
you know.
you're fine. The gig is up. And they're like, yeah, you old shit. The dirty 30s, huh? I'm like, oh, you finally figured it out.
Classic.
So yeah, that's fun.
You gotta think, there was some crazy times down there. Remember the bear spray?
Oh yeah.
The bear spray.
Well, outsmart them. What was it? We're smarter than them.
We had this lunatic that would come down and dress in the lifeguard uniform and start problems. And then he got arrested one day, and he looks right at me and Gillen and he goes, I'll kill you and come back and kill you.
Yeah.
And we're just standing there in our Speedos like two dweebs. So the next day, Gillen shows up and he goes, Bobby, I'm a little nervous about that guy. but I've outsmarted them. You know, mace is illegal. But bear spray is legal in New York State. And he puts the bear spray on the thing. And I never forget that.
Madness was the norm. At all times, it seems.
Where'd John go?
I think he's gone. I think he Irish exited.
He probably made an Irish exit.
Yes, I believe he made an Irish exit. That's
He made an
usually what
Irish
he does.
exit.
An Irish exit? Do you have a song for that?
No, we
No,
don't.
we don't have a song. It just
No, we just. I guess we're just. We're gonna have to wrap it up, everybody.
The Irish
This
exit.
was a disaster, but
Yeah, we had a lot
it was a
of
fun disaster. And we'll try to edit it into a coherent story of some sort.
Yeah, I
And
think we can.
yeah, do what we can.
We'll be back. We'll
be
start
back
doing
again.
more live broadcasts now that
Now that
we're not
nobody's
live
working,
doing
what else are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Ciao for now.
Cheers, everyone.
Ciao, man.
Thanks for watching.
I'm used to. Get in there.
Teaser! It's been quite a journey into the deep.